Action.
What is your issue with bending?
My issue with bending?
Yeah, why couldn't you reach?
That wasn't a bend. That was a reach to touch the button.
Are you hurting?
No, I'm always hurting.
What's wrong with
I'm a
you?
pro wrestler of 24 years. I'm always hurting. Usually mentally, emotionally, sometimes physically. Right there, it was physical.
Are you emotionally?
Look at it. I don't know why I'm holding it.
Engaged?
This is like my first wrestling
Are you
pose of all
clawing?
time.
Are you the claw?
This is every...
Clawing. Are you clawing? It is a new term in wrestling that when you put on the claw, you are actually clawing.
This pose right here. This is every first picture of every independent wrestler ever. Or this. Or this.
I don't know if I've ever done that pose in a wrestling picture.
Someone's always screaming, pointing to their brain.
What?
It's going through wrestling.
Yes,
There's always
for
like
some reason,
this was
everyone
my...
picks the photo that you're breathing out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Everyone loves like I'm shirtless, I'm breathing out, so I look obviously pregnant.
And like you smell something stinky.
Yeah. But there's that face. It's like, all right, give me cocky. And I was always like...
That looks like you have a problem. Like your nose is jacked up.
Is this a good side?
Wow, that beard is gray.
Yeah,
Holy cow. When you turn to the side, it's really gray.
Ow. Freddie likes to do
And then
that.
one just came out.
Oh, no. Put it back in. Put it back in.
I can't.
That's what she said.
Your goal is complete. We can now end the podcast.
And I'm going to push the button. Ow.
Before we even begin, my name is Maria Canellis Bennett.
And I am Mike Bennett.
Are you the lion from The Wizard of Oz? I'll be the king.
The king of the forest. And cut.
Is that your next job?
Maybe.
Is that
I
what
love
you want to be?
musicals.
Why haven't you ever done?
Because I can't really sing.
You can sing.
Nah, I can do.
And you know, men don't really need to sing. I feel like with women, you've got to be like on. With men,
you kind of mumble your way through.
Yeah, like it's not a.
It's because people just want like the manly voice, you know. Was that?
Is that the manly?
You know, they just want like, knock, knock, knocking on my heaven's door. Like they want something, you know, like that. A little raspy.
It sounds like you're also having sex.
Imagine playing things like that.
And that, what is this doing down here? What is this one out here?
Playing a fucking guitar. What do you think I'm doing? Knock, knock.
No more knocking. Enough with the knocking.
I think I'm overtired, maybe.
Well, that would probably be an honest to goodness guess. It's been a very busy week with a lot of children kicking people and waking us up in the middle of the night. I don't know. They just don't want to sleep.
They're wild.
They are wild. And they don't want to sleep in their own bed.
This is them being wild.
Like, I'm starting to believe that people that get their kids to sleep in their own beds actually drug their children. Like, that is the assessment I've made.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Getting them to sleep in their own beds is a tough one. It's one part of parenting I can't conquer yet. But I think there's a level, one of many. I think there's a level of selfishness with me too. Because I like having my babies next to me. Oh. Even though one is 7 years old and she's 1,000,000 feet long, and the other one is...
Is that Randy Orton pose?
I'm doing everything. Oh, hello.
We hit it every time.
And the other one is a big ball of tornado. So between the length and the destruction...
Oh, he's punched me in the face.
Oh, yeah.
He is straight up like...
Well, that, I believe, is one of the risks of co-sleeping, is you know at least as a dude at some point you are going to get hit in the balls so fucking hard.
I don't have to worry.
And it just wakes you up, and you just like...
I have no balls.
There's not, like, it's so startling. You don't even know, like, you're just like, what the fuck? And then you look over and you see this little beautiful creature sleeping, and you're like, you just punched me in the dick. But you didn't know it. So...
And you're sleeping.
Now I'm going to go ice my balls and try to fall back asleep.
Yeah, it's tough.
Look at your microphone. I told her she had it in her cleave earlier. I think I'm gonna start calling it the cleave.
Isn't there
nice cleave. Does that sound aggressive? Like if I was hitting on you at the bar.
I think I would walk away.
Hey.
Any of the lines you suggest using would never have worked.
Let me try it. Put out the vibes.
Okay. Do you need your drink?
I got
for
my
that?
drink.
Are we
my
pretending we're at the bar?
Yeah, this is my.
Because
What do they make the margaritas in? I just got the metal. I just want the metal thing.
Okay, the shaker. It's the word for it.
Here we go.
All right.
Hey.
This is going well.
Nice cleave. See, I think I got you. And then you're hooked. I can say anything after that point.
I hit on you first, thank God. Because your lines were bad.
I didn't have lines. I was oblivious.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were hitting on me until I got in the car afterwards.
And someone had to tell you.
It was Taven. Taven informed me. And I went, what? That's what it is? Whoa. All right. I just thought she was really nice.
How many missed opportunities probably you have gotten where you just thought
None,
girls
because it led me to you.
Well, maybe they were missed opportunities. Maybe you would have found somebody that wasn't so me.
I want someone that's you. I don't want a bootleg version or a knockoff. I want the real thing. Raw, unfiltered. See, it's addicting singing. Now you're singing.
Ain't nothing like the real thing.
See, you act like you're actually having sex while you're singing. Mine was like just a grunt. And I gotta play the guitar when I do it too.
Apparently. So, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I thought we were just shooting the shit. I was enjoying this. I forgot we were filming, actually.
So I'm in a bit of a conundrum. And I think that a lot of entertainers probably fall into this situation or end up in this situation to where they've spent so much of their time doing one thing and then having to switch career thumbs up, having to switch careers in order to go in a new direction. And you feel as if all of this experience that you had isn't worthwhile.
Sure.
And you feel as if you wasted a lot of time in another field because, it didn't lead to
the top,
whatever you wanted, whatever that dream is. Like if you're in movies, starring in a, $50 million movie or $150 million movie or whatever it is, or winning an Oscar or winning a Grammy or, like if you didn't get to that place, like
winning a world championship.
Winning a world championship. I mean, I was a TNA women's champion.
You were.
Which I didn't have to do anything to win. I was the 24/7 champion. Again, I did nothing to do with that. I don't know where to go from there.
What's next?
Yeah, like what's next? It's probably a good title. What's next?
What's next?
And I don't know if I should continue focusing on the things that I have been focusing on. Like, I don't know if, it's the right path. And I feel like just like with patience that we talked about last week.
Your favorite topic.
My least favorite topic of all time. I want, because we have kids and a family and a house and
and responsibility.
And responsibilities. Like, you want to make good money right off the bat. You don't want to, you know, newsflash, I may have been doing this a long time, but I never like made killer money for very long. So here we are. I'm still trying to figure out what that, I mean, and maybe that's my, my Grammy is I've never gotten to that peak level. And so now what? Like now, and how do I focus? Because there's so many things I enjoy doing, but I feel like all of them are like off in the distance. And it's like, is it really a good idea to go after another dream that is like really difficult to accomplish and really difficult to, you know, to make your way in and make it super successful? Like I don't know if that's responsible. Is that responsible?
I think it's not only responsible, I think it's necessary. Because like I think you like it's very easy to
You look
say
like you're grabbing a butt. Or boobs.
Let me this is my happy place.
I mean, this is more butt. This is more boobs, right?
What?
I said this is more boobs.
I think I just nodded on myself laughing when you the change of directions.
Right, boobs.
No. So
But
I feel like you view.
But look, boobs. Okay, you view
the boobs.
Okay.
You cup the butt.
You cup the butt. Okay, good.
Cup butt. No, I think it's very easy to look at it as like, all right, so when I started on this career path, I had to do this, and this, and learn this, and this. You're now at a new like baseline. You're not that same Maria. You're now Maria up here. So you're starting something new, but you're also starting it with a different Maria. So it's not going to be the same path. It's not going to be the same difficulties. Certain things that might have been difficulties then, you're going to breeze right through. And other difficulties are probably going to appear. Probably bigger difficulties because you're now more wise and understand what you're looking for.
Yeah, I have trouble with consistency.
But I think that's I don't think being responsible is staying comfortable. And I think sometimes if you are someone who's trying to transition into something new, you're coming to your end of your wrestling career or professional athlete career or whatever. I think it's easy to fall into that trap of like, well, this is all I know. I haven't accomplished everything I want here. So do I really want to put my energy towards something new, or does the responsible thing say, should I keep putting my energy into the thing that's comfortable? Even though you might be being pulled in that direction, comfortability is holding you here. And that's I go through that a lot where I'm like, well, do I want to focus on something else? Or I haven't accomplished everything I want in wrestling. Do I want to put that energy there? And it's very much a game. Is it like, okay, I'm going to be 40 in May. Do I put my energy towards this career that, is somewhat fleeting? Or do I put it into something I can build? And it's just this constant like back and forth with it. I empathize with you because I totally get it. I think it's different for me because I'm still working in wrestling and still doing that thing. And now you're kind of like in a place where you're like, all right, I'm not wrestling. And it's weird I'm not
too, because managing. It wasn't necessarily a choice that I made, but then I made it my choice.
Sure.
Like I wasn't, when my contract ended, I wasn't really ready to be done. But then I decided that I needed to be done for a while. And I don't know if it's because of,
you owned it. You made it
your tumor own. Or, just that's enough in wrestling at the time. Or, I don't know why, what it was about this time that I decided that I needed to take a step back. Maybe it's just like 20 years is a good, like, clean number. Like my
I also think when you go through something life changing, life altering, like a health scare or an actual health issue, I think it makes you look at things differently. You tend to just view the world in a different way. I mean, you can choose not to, but I think most people when they go through it, they look at at that point in their life what is truly important to them. So maybe there was a point in time where wrestling was truly important to you.
Mm-hmm.
But now you look at everything else.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what did you think about when you were at your most terrified with your health scare? The kids, your family, you know? Were you ever like, oh, fuck, if I just had one more match, if I was just ringside one more time, were you just like, oh shit, this is
I
my
am.
tribe?
So there is that. Like, I wish I could manage you guys one more time.
Yeah, but that wasn't at the forefront of your brain, right? So you then start to realize what is truly important, what really matters.
Yeah.
And then you start to say this other bullshit is that it's just bullshit.
Well, I think so. One of my issues with what you just said is I don't believe in regret. So I don't have a lot of like, oh, I wish I woulda, I wish I coulda. Like if I were to, if I would have died during my surgery, that would suck. But like, I'm okay with my life.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Like I've said,
I'm not saying being regretful.
but we were talking about like you haven't done enough in wrestling, like or that I haven't, accomplished everything I wanted to. But mine is all. I think I'm really happy with what I was able to do. It's just the financial part of it that I'm not
happy with.
I
mean yeah.
That I think that's
you feel like you put in a certain amount of
effort. Like I should be able to retire. Can I retire? No, I cannot retire. I have to
I
still...
think, you just everyone pays the dues they have to pay in order to live the life they want to live. And
yeah.
This is our cross to bear.
Yeah. I think that's yeah, but recently I was praying and I was asking to stop chasing the money. That's what I prayed for.
Yeah.
Because I want.
What do you want to chase?
It's weird. This is my problem. Because I do so many things that I don't know how to focus in on one thing. Because for so long I was invested in one thing. And I always, I had these things in my background. Like I put out an album. I designed my own clothes. I was doing pitches and teasers for, shows since probably 2007, I think was the first year that I was pitching anything. And so I've always kind of had these things like interior decorating.
As long as I've known you, you've always been doing a million things.
Yeah, and so like I've always had all these things that I could do. Like I tried dance and teaching dance again. But I'm trying to find the one thing that fulfills what wrestling.
The whole wrestling is going to leave. Maybe it doesn't leave a hole though.
No, it does because I'm in it.
Feel it?
Yeah, I'm in it. Like I don't know. I don't know how to structure my life
without that.
Okay, I'm gonna pack and I'm gonna get on the road and I'm gonna,
everything kind of revolves around.
Right. This is my diet together for the week so that I can be ready for the weekend. And like, I just don't have that. So now I feel like I'm always in this constant state of free for all, and it's like
you're in this constant state of trying to grab something to hold.
Yeah, and like, what is it? What is that thing?
But I think as long as you're looking for something to fill what the whole wrestling is leaving, you're never going to find it. Because I'm not necessarily sure there is something that'll fill that hole. You know what I mean?
Maybe. Big truck going by. Sorry if it's loud.
Sand and gravel. But wrestling...
Someone's getting in the driveway.
Might just like... you might be done. And that's okay. There's nothing to fill there. You accomplished that level. Success. What did you get out of it? All this knowledge, all this experience, all these wonderful memories.
Yeah.
Close that loop. Don't try to refill it.
Yeah. I mean, so I think I've talked about this a little bit, but we're trying to find funding for Women's Wrestling Army right now. And we're trying to reboot the show when we've got some really cool opportunities of how to take our production to the next level and really like level everything up. And there's a part of me that feels like one foot is still kind of in
wrestling.
Yeah, because I'm
sure because you're
still doing Women's Wrestling Army. And I always say to you, like, I don't know how much attention to give to it because I don't know what the long term goal is, what the long term goal is with this right now. And I don't know where it's going to go. And yeah, taking that risk again.
I think you give it enough energy up until the moment it feels like work. But I've said that to you before. I think you give it the enough energy where it's filling your cup, but once it crosses
this is the tough thing about growing up blue collar. It's like the work part, like the physical work part, is not the difficult part for me.
Either is it for me.
It's like, okay, whatever. We're gonna set up a ring, and then we're gonna, put all the stuff on it and the turnbuckles, and we're gonna, write the show and like all of that stuff. It's great. Like I enjoy it, but then it comes to the business side of it, and I'm like, like I hate it. I just want it to be successful without me having to do that part of it. Like I want to create an environment that teaches and supports the women's wrestlers of the future or past women's wrestlers that still want to go out and wrestle every now and again. Just don't want the commitment of having to be gone every single weekend. Like that, and like to give them the tools and the community in order to go through these different phases throughout their career. And then once their career is over, like mine, of like, well, what the fuck do we do now? Like, all right, so I was on the road and I was doing the road thing, and now I'm not. And where's, like I want like a supportive group, and like so many times now. I mean, bless all of the women that like I've been on signings with lately, and because they just listen to me go on and on about this stuff, and I I feel like this sense of community of like, okay, so this person's doing this and this person's doing this, and I'm like, okay, and what am I doing? And what do I want to be doing? And I think part of me wanted to close the door on wrestling and be like, done.
Sure.
Mangry, done. But
maybe you needed to close the door on like being a talent of wrestling.
I'm still talented, thank you.
You know what I mean. An on-screen persona.
And now we're doing the side boob.
I'm shutting the door.
Side.
If I grabbed your boob like that, that would be very aggressive. I'd probably chop it first, and then you get the chop claw. Ooh, that's a good move. The chop claw. Chop claw.
I don't think that's appropriate.
Anyways, I think you were closing the door.
Am I funny?
Chop claw's funny. I think you were closing the door probably on being a talent. And I think when Women's Wrestling Army presents itself to you, it's not coming from the place of being an on-screen character. It's coming from the place of creating and building something on your own, which is...
it's also an insane dream that I decided to do.
But hasn't your entire life been just chasing one insane dream after the other? And it's led you to this...
We have kids.
So the insane dream led you to having kids. Like, why would you?
Saying you're my dream?
Yeah, I'm your insane dream.
So dreamy.
But you know what I mean? Like your personality is who you are. So why would you not just continue that, but just with the knowledge you have, not the fear of having kids, but the knowledge of having kids?
Yeah.
Because there's no guarantee. Like, what does it mean? So, okay, so you get a 9-to-5 job, or you get a job working for some corporation. It doesn't and you're miserable. It doesn't guarantee safety.
I know.
There's no safety.
I love my life, like in the sense that kids get off 2:35 today. I'm going to pick them up.
It's great.
Kids need to go here, there, and everywhere. Gonna do it. We're doing this podcast during the day. I had an audition earlier today. I have a call with for Women's Wrestling Army today, which I totally forgot about, and I'm gonna have to figure that out as well.
When's that going on?
It's supposed to be in about 10 minutes.
Well,
so we might cut this one short today. Let's not tell anybody that. But
nobody involved in that meeting watch this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Thumbs up.
It's been a busy. What is?
I'm trying to
up
get
the
it.
butt.
Thumb in the bum.
Thumb in the bum.
Thumb in the bum move.
Steve. Okay.
Steve.
Okay, so I finished Let Them. I was very inspired in the last few pages because it just, sometimes I think you just need that extra, you got to take care of yourself. Like, I keep putting off this work that I need to do in order to figure out what is truly going to be the thing. And I know it's going to be Women's Wrestling Army. But I think because I have such, just so annoyed with so many things.
Well, I think it's like you said, you wanted to close the door on it.
I did!
Like, completely close the door.
I did.
Yeah.
And I think that, I love doing events and birthday parties. Our daughter's birthday parties this weekend. I've been planning it for at least a month. Our son's birthday party, I planned for a month.
Months.
Christmas, I planned for a month.
2 years.
Halloween, I planned for at least
2 years.
2.
You know what 2 years Halloween's going to look like from now.
Kinda. As long as the kids don't decide that they're going to change their costumes. That's always a big issue, is because I have to plan so far in advance to create these different experiences. I did come up with the one thing I'm the best at.
What?
Setting the stage. So whatever it is, setting the stage. Mm-hmm. Setting the stage for success. So whether it's a birthday party or Women's Wrestling Army or,
You are very good at that.
I set the stage for things. And I enjoy that. I enjoy that aspect. If I could just do that aspect of Women's Wrestling Army, then that would be fantastic.
But I think you probably can.
Eventually.
Yeah.
But when you're a CEO of something, like you have to do all of the grunt work. Yeah. You have to until you don't. And I was watching Candace, what's her name?
I don't know idea.
The girl that I like online. Sanchez?
Cody Sanchez.
Cody Sanchez was talking about, or someone was telling her, eventually she needs to start handing things off because she needs to be focusing on leveling up. And I can relate so much with that because there's other things I need to be doing, but I still got to do the grunt work of it. And it's like, well, crap, I don't have enough time. But I think for me, I need to make peace with who I am and that it's okay if I still like wrestling and not judge it too much, which I should do anyways because my husband's still involved with it. But, and I have to make peace with, that I didn't love how my career ended in order to move past that part of my life.
Yes.
And continue on in a way that I can make Women's Wrestling Army successful eventually. Yeah. And I have to not put such a strong time frame on it of like, it needs to make me this much money and blah, blah, blah. Because I would do it for nothing. Like, that's the thing. Is I would do it for $0 because I enjoy doing it so much. Like, I love, like, setting up. I love writing. I love, like, getting everything together and making sure everybody's okay and they have the food they need and the makeup art. Like, I love it. And I would do it for free, which we were.
So then, is it just your fear that's keeping you from jumping headfirst into it? Because you say to me all the time, like, I don't think I want to jump into this again. And I wonder if you can sit there and say you do it for free, then you're telling me that it's not even work to you. So why wouldn't you just jump in head
because
first?
The work part of it sucks. Knowing that I have to do the other stuff that I don't want to do sucks.
Sure.
Like, I don't like it. Yeah. Okay, so when you let your attention slide for a bit, don't think you will be don't think you will get back a grip on whatever you wish. Instead, bear in mind that because of today's mistake, everything that follows will be necessarily worse. Is it possible to be free from air? Not by any means, but it is possible to be a person always stretching to avoid air. For we must be content to at least escape a few mistakes by never letting our attention slide. What this is talking about is that if your attention is going like mine does, then you're going to make a mistake.
Sure.
So it's saying you need to hold your attention on whatever it is so much that it's really hard to mess up. And I feel like that is a huge struggle of mine. Because I like doing flowers and I like doing birthday parties. And the idea of sacrificing doing the birthday party for Women's Wrestling Army doesn't bode well for me either.
Then don't look at it as sacrificing.
You got 5 minutes.
Look at it as well as. And then each time you're doing something, you're focused individually on that. Like, I don't think you have to let things go. I think you just have to direct your energy better. If like planning birthday parties and planning weddings and doing flowers, if that all fills your cup and brings you peace or at least gives you any kind of motivation, then that's a terrible thing to try to cut out of your life. Like, why?
So creativity breeds creativity.
Exactly.
And you should be in a constant state of play if you want to be as successful and productive.
It's like I tell you, every time I want to get motivated, I start picking up the guitar. And I'm trying to teach myself to play the guitar. And every time I pick it up...
I thought you weren't telling people.
I know I wasn't, but this conversation, fuck. I didn't want to tell anyone. But...
You can always cut it out.
No, fuck it. I said it. It's honest.
It's very hot.
What I've learned, though, besides turning my wife on, is that...
I like how your little fingers go.
It also leads to...
This is why women love guitar players.
It also leads to me wanting to do...
Finger dexterity.
You're brutal sometimes.
Such a good line. Oh, yeah. Okay, go. What?
It leads to more creativity. It leads to me wanting to try new things. And
It makes me want to try something.
Makes me want you to try new things. And I'll sing about it.
Like that, please. Yeah, it's tough. It is. It's so...
Hard work begets hard work. Creativity begets creativity.
Yeah. So...
And it sounds redundant and cliche, but it is actually true. Like, I've been home for the last, 3 months? And, like, what I learned was it wasn't until I was like, you know what, I'm going to do something while I'm here. That everything else, I started the guitar, then it made me want to start the podcast, then it made me want to coach soccer. Like, it just, all these things spiral.
Yeah.
In a good way. Well, I shouldn't say spiral, they compound. I think spiraling's down, compounding is building up. And it's cliche and it's redundant, but it's because it's true. And I, like, anecdotally witnessed it firsthand these last couple months.
I'm sorry. So, my new book that I'm starting to read is Revenge of the Tipping Point. It's a Malcolm Gladwell book. He did The Tipping Point, and this is Revenge of the Tipping Point. And he's talking about how Harvard has this great, like, sports and recreation programming. And I guess, like, you know, somebody, a professor or something said, oh, it's to attract, you know, people to want to come to Harvard. And then they were saying, and the guy interviewing him was like, well, you don't really need to attract people to go to Harvard. You're Harvard. And what they were saying was because of the work ethic of athletes. And they were talking about women's lacrosse in particular, because women's lacrosse, like, it is like brutal, and do it in the rain and it's cold, but like the mindset that you must have in order to do something like that.
What, lacrosse?
Yeah.
Or rugby?
It might be rugby. No, I think it was lacrosse. Let me see. Oh, rugby. Sorry. But in order to play rugby in the rain,
I play rugby not even in the rain.
and it's brutal, but in order to fight against that, the pain and like the exhaustion of rugby, I don't know why I was thinking lacrosse, makes you just such like a motivated person to excel in other ways. And they say if you're surrounded by people like that, it's also going to make you more successful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why in wrestling, if you've had a certain level of talent and excellence in wrestling, when you get out of it, it's so hard to still have that mindset, because everybody in wrestling, well, not everyone, but a lot of people in wrestling have that mindset because it's hard. Traveling is hard. Getting to the building and waiting around all day, and then finding what you're getting, and then bumping with an injury, and then dealing with politics and dealing with this and the show changing all the time, and that happens in every single company I've ever worked for. And so if you're dealing with all of that, plus the physical pain that's going along with, and the possibility of scrambling your brains, then you must be motivated somewhere within.
Yes, you have a deep drive.
And I miss that.
Yeah.
And I think when I'm out here on my own,
mindsets are contagious.
Yes, I'm now 1 minute past what I needed to be on my call. But anyways, so I think where I'm lacking right now is being surrounded by the motivated people of wanting to, figure out what's next, and kind of keeping me on the path of this like inner motivation and being completely consumed by something. And I think I need to find my people.
You need a new environment.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I think I think that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Because me spinning my wheels and walking around here like whatever her name is. What's the lady's name?
I think it's Lady Macbeth. I say it all
Lady
the time,
Macbeth.
but I don't know. I'm sure some.
And I'm just around here going, oh, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could do that. Maybe I.
Out.
But I feel like I need, that kind of environment again. Sure. And I feel like I'm searching for that environment of being surrounded by people that are like-minded, that want to move forward in a way that leads to success. And not only like the money success, whatever. Like, if I didn't have to make money to pay my bills, I would give two shits about it. I already have the fuck you family and the fuck you whatever and whatever. I have all those things.
The fuck you family is my favorite concept of all time.
Yes, and it's one of my favorite too, and we'll talk about it on the next podcast.
Shout out to Chris Williamson.
Oh yeah, Chris Williamson is amazing, and I love that, and I feel like we're getting close. It's just time for a change.
Yeah.
In our environment to make it to the next level.
Yeah.
People that are like-minded in the sense that are entrepreneurial. All right.
I feel like
I have to go.
Oh, you're leaving.
I'm leaving. I have to.
They can wait.
No, they can't wait.
Why can't they wait? This is important. Our people watching us.
Our people are very important, but we can talk to them again next week. This is a creative call for Women's Wrestling Army, and I need to get on it.
Okay.
Peace, friends.